Hello to everybody watching and listening, and welcome to one more game that I'm casting. Let's just say there's going to be a ton of scorpions in this particular game because, let's just say, I said that before. There will be two top supply specialists on top of the supply specialists that I have here already. And a lot of that money is going to go into upgraded scorpions, both for me and for my opponent, who has cost control specialist and thus gets even more money than I do. Although, of course, all of his units are weaker. I think, honestly, cost control versus supply specialist all, of course, depends on units and decisions, but it's not exactly a setup you want. I'm going for the same setup as in the previous video because I honestly think that's a pretty good setup. The Arclight can clear, the Phoenixes can shoot whatever the Arclight can't clear, and the battle is commencing. I have a bunch of Fangs, putting them staggered in my enemy's way, hopefully. My opponent has a lot of Crawlers and Mustangs, and they can get destroyed by the Arclight, but the Phoenixes are actually a bit too far ahead on this side, so they get destroyed instead. On the other side, however, Arclight is handling it. I have some more chaff coming in. These units are... Oh, the Arclight, of course, has no intention of doing what I want. So it's getting swamped. And yeah, that is the first turn. Not a particularly big defeat, but a defeat regardless. I'm thinking maybe the sledges. My opponent is thinking marksman, probably to counter the Phoenixes. But in the end, I'm taking the Wraith because I didn't want to have sledges against a high-level marksman, if my memory serves. He puts the marksman here, of course, on the side where the annoying Phoenixes were. I'm putting the Wraith here because I wanted to push in with the rest of our forces, and against what my opponent has, just more Arclights I think is a good solution for the moment, so I'm kind of flanking my Fangs with them. My opponent has 4 sets of Mustangs here. It's kind of crazy. 2 Arclights. Let's watch the fight once more. So, how good is the positioning here? The positioning is pretty good on these marksmen because they take out the Phoenixes instantly. Wraith here does clear the chaff very well, along with the Arclights. Of course, this side's Arclights are getting absolutely wrecked. The last Mustang takes down the Wraith, if I saw that correctly. And then there's just 2 Arclights and some Fangs against all of these Mustangs. And of course the Marksman with level 4, who would probably take down all of these units. Yeah, not a good turn for me. Next reinforcement round, portable shield, improved fire control system, senior manufacturing, assault fang. I have some fangs, but I'm not too interested in that. I'm just taking a shield for my Phoenixes in this turn. And my opponent goes into anti-air, just like that. I'm not even sure why he did that, because in my opinion, it is kinda useless to do that right now. He's already countering the Phoenixes, but maybe he's expecting me to play Vulcans or something like that, and hoping that they will lock onto the Phoenixes instead of the Vulcans. I have different plans. I'm just adding some chaff, because that is what I most definitely need right now. And then I am putting some cash into Arclight range, so that the Arclights won't immediately die. Of course, Phoenixes still push ahead, unfortunately. This side is now getting wrecked because the Wraith is doing nothing. He's also leveled these Mustangs, and they have improved fire control system, so they do double damage. I think, yeah, this is double damage. All in all, however, I am winning this side pretty well. Now it will all depend on the engagement, and since my opponent is not really getting much use out of his tower, but I'm at the throat of his tower, this engagement could not really have gone any better. Not even the Phoenix goes down here. Alright, here's the first top supply round. I'm going for it. I think my opponent is also going for it, so yeah, okay. I wasn't sure because I think in the later turn he also picks out an advanced firepower control system. I'm looking at all these all these Arclights, but I'm not really sure if I want to level them against Marksmen, because Marksmen will just wreck them, and well, I guess I leveled them regardless. I guess for these Mustangs it's actually useful, because they have too much health for the Arclights to kill them with just level 1. My opponent is picking up Scorpions. I have not really any idea why he's picking those up. I can only assume he's really banking on the Vulcans coming out, but I have tech Darklights. Why would I go for Vulcans? Instead, I'm dropping some more chaff and 2 Stormcrawlers to deal with all of this that is clumping up. Now I tried to work on my positioning. I'm putting these sort of opposite to the high-level marksmen, and these more or less opposite to the Mustangs. However, they just beautifully counter the Scorpions that drop this turn, and I think my opponent is pretty sad right about now. More chaff is pushing in on this side, while the Arclights clean up the chaff clear, the Mustangs. Similar on this side, marksmen stuck on late chaff. Arclights are moving in and destroying it. And apparently I'm being invited to 2v2, but I'm casting a game right now. Alright, next turn. Oh, top supply again. I was debating between senior attack, but honestly with the money of top supply, I can basically buy senior attack in the tower. Both me and my opponent also going for it. And now my opponent, starting with the next turn, is getting 400 more supply than he should each turn. He puts some of his currently remaining supply into high explosive ammo and range for the Scorpions, probably to make them not go so far ahead, but he's also adding some chaff into somebody who now has 3 level 3 and 1 level 2 Arclight. I guess this is kind of a soft carry Arclight game for the moment. I'm also adding more chaff because my opponent really does not have a lot of chaff there other than the Mustangs. And crawlers, of course, you can always make them take a lot less damage. Let me just quickly write the guy that I'm casting a game right now. Was so... Alright. Come on. Alright, that is done for. What's happening in the game? Well, these crawlers are not really that useful other than for distracting one salvo. However, my Scorpion wandered in the attack range of his his ranged Scorpion, so it won't do too much this turn. Did I also have one on this side? I'm not entirely sure. But this side is looking basically like the last one. Stuck on too much chaff and getting annihilated. Similar here. This setup of fangs, they do so much. I owe them a lot of games. These, I think at least, these fangs that you put